Welcome to another episode of the Bitter Jury Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Westoff, and right now all my co-hosts are giggling at me. So I don't know if I should feel paranoid or excited to be back on here. I am went a week without Big Brother podcasting in my life, but I had my three co-hosts here to pick up the baton and run with it last week. But I am so excited to get into tonight's episode and week 4 in general. So much stuff happened while I was gone, and tonight it got even crazier. So before I introduce my co-host, I know that Charles hasn't seen the episode yet from tonight. So let me break a little news to you. On tonight's episode, as we saw last week, Blue and Jag were the final nominees for the week. Um, Everything we saw from live feeds, from social media, uh, Jag was a for sure goner. Like Charles and I were texting earlier this morning, and I was basically giving him no hope that Jag would stay and Blue would go because I know he was rooting for Blue to be out the door. But in a surprise revelation tonight, we found out who got the secret power. Charles, do you know at all who America voted for? Even
I do not even know the four that competed.
all right. Well, give us a quick guess. If you had to take your who are America's 4 favorite players?
Oh gosh. Alicia, Sari, four favorite America, Corey, and Jag.
Very close. Jag, Corey, Felicia, and Matt.
Suri,
Ah, I
not
should have.
Sorry,
Felicia.
not Felicia. Sorry, sorry.
Okay, I should have thrown
Um,
Matt in there.
yes. But as we saw in tonight's episode, Matt actually won the power, and the power that he received was he had the ability to cancel an eviction. Specifically, he would choose a player before the votes were taking place. If that player was evicted, then the week is canceled, and we are going to just replay the week, and the HOH is allowed to play again. Keynote there. Uh, we were under the impression on BB Twitter and the live feed that nothing was happening tonight. Jag was going home. But as Jag was saying his goodbyes and about to walk out the door to meet Julie, the comic verse signal went off. A letter came through and the eviction was canceled. Jag is staying, Blue is staying, and Cameron is playing in tonight's HOH. So that is the news of the night. So let's break it all down. First, I've already half introduced him. So, Charles, let's just get your immediate reaction. Welcome back to the podcast. Your face says a lot. How are you feeling about the news you've just received?
I mean, cool, I guess, but I really want Blue to be gone, so I'm kind of raw about it right now. I may feel different after I watch it play out for myself. Truthfully, I have a love-hate relationship with a twist that like cancels a week altogether. Even though I know that can sometimes be part of the game. I feel as if it always happens conveniently in the Big Brother house when a big move is about to be made and things are going to be split, and so miraculously somebody does not go home. But sure, it'll play out for a good week. So yeah,
Wouldn't
this may
it
be. Oh, go
wouldn't
ahead.
it have been so interesting if the power was you save the person that's being evicted, but the other person that was nominated goes home instead?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like add some umph to it. I don't know. I guess this is maybe the least energetic I've been when I've been introduced, because I'm like, I thought you were gonna hit me with something awesome, and I was just kind of like wah wah, like
Yeah,
sure,
I knew you wouldn't be a big fan of that.
yeah.
But someone else who I know wasn't a big fan of the way the move was used tonight. We just heard from her there, suggesting maybe a better use of the power. But Sarah, you and I were texting a little bit after the episode completed. I know your thoughts a little bit, but you think that the power being used tonight was a mistake. Please elaborate a little bit.
I I really like Matt as a player in the game, but I do think the choice to use it tonight was a mistake. I understand that Jag is a loyal player, but it seemed as of that point he didn't know that Matt used it on him. I will say that I feel that the power could have been better used next week if Red or Bowie or Corey or someone won HOH and put Sri or Matt or Miss Felicia on the block. I think that we'll see though as the week goes whether or not they made the right choice. So we shall see.
Well, Richard, I know you may have a different perspective on the power being played tonight. So, are you as down on Matt for using it, or do you think maybe there was some strategy here behind the decision?
I think actually I'm gonna counter what Sarah said. I actually think that there's a higher chance that Cameron or Red are screwed than like the Felicia Suri Matt side. Just because of numbers and statistics, and also the logic of the odds that Cameron or Red win. I just think that they're pretty low compared to Matt or Jag winning. Then again, Miss Felicia won. So always expect the unexpected, but I think there was a lot of strategy. Strategy.
Tragedy.
It was
That's a
a
new
stop.
word.
Little bit
strategic
of
tragedy, a
both.
strategy.
Yeah, I like that.
But no, I do think that there was some strategy. I think they voted for Jag just to keep the anonymity and make people think that Jag played it on himself. And if people believe that, the same way that Karen believes that Felicia is related to Denzel, then they must have thought that Jag put on an Oscar-worthy performance tonight.
Yeah, I fall somewhere in the middle. Like, I do see the benefit of it being played tonight. Like, it was Matt's power, and if I had to name who are Matt's allies, like, yeah, he's in good with Serene, especially now. But even all this week, he's been very heavily playing into her favor and trying to ingratiate himself with her. But I don't really think he's like protected by the entire alliance of Izzy and Felicia and Jared. And so if I'm Matt, my top allies are Suri, and then it's like Jag and Blue, maybe America. And so if I'm about to lose one of my uh, one of my allies, and it's a strong ally, someone who can compete, I see the benefit of keeping him, but I also know that it really wasn't totally Matt's decision. Like, I'm under the impression that this was Cerie's decision, and she just told Matt what to do, and yeah, he just agreed because it's Cerie, and she's got all this experience in the game, and so
So
from
I have a quick
Cerie,
question since I haven't seen
sure.
this yet, but to my knowledge, prior to them deciding who the four people that were going to play in this were and blah, 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 it was supposed to be a secret power. So is that the case? And he just revealed to everybody that he had it?
No, it came
So
in through an envelope, so people still don't know who used the power, and they
Okay.
technically don't even know who the four people were that received the
Okay.
America's votes.
Then
Now,
how would Suri have influenced him to do that
he
if
revealed it
Okay.
only to Cerie. He didn't tell anyone
Okay.
else.
Okay.
But from Cerie's perspective, though, like, I would have said, let's save the power for next week. We may need it. We don't know what's going to happen next week. We can still keep Jag and get rid of Blue, and the only downside is that Jared doesn't get his hookup buddy. But like from Cerie's perspective, that's an extra benefit. That'd
Yeah.
be Blue's out of the house, don't love her. Jared's focused again. Jag's still a threat who's going to be fighting on our side, and we keep the power. Like, those four things make me confused why the power was used, and I don't think Matt would have gone against Cerie. So I'll be
Huh.
interested to
That's
see what the
interesting.
fallout is. But we got a whole new week. We're going to replay it all over again. So we'll see what happens. But let's rewind a bit to the beginning of this week, because this was a monumental week. This is season 25. So we're going to be seeing, hopefully, some big surprises from Big Brother production, and something that's been asked for by BB fans for years now has been to bring back the pressure cooker. And BB finally came through for us mega fans, and they brought not only the pressure cooker back, they brought Kaser back to be the somewhat host of it. um I don't know, I was thrilled to see this happen. I was frustrated that I was on the road in Cleveland and couldn't sit next to my laptop for all 14 hours of it. But Sarah, let's start with you because I know you were glued to the live feeds. Just how astonishing is it that what is it, like 12 years apart or something, that the two times this competition has been played, it ended within like a minute and a half of each other, like 14 hours being played, and it came down to about 90 seconds difference between the original competition and the beginning. Just what are your thoughts on how this one played out, and just what were some of your biggest takeaways?
I was so excited that we had a night full of live feeds watching them compete for the HOH. I was finally feeling like we were in the game. We are rooted in now. We know the players. We are all we're all engulfed in this now. So watching the live feeds of it was great. I will say that America repeating over and over and over how iconic it was that they were playing it was just, it gave me a little bit of the ick toward the whole competition in total. I was like, okay, it's not iconic if you say it's iconic though, yes. Usually things are only iconic by someone who's not saying it. So I was a little annoyed by her saying that over and over. But it was awesome to watch it. I wish that they would have shown the dead flies on the episode, but they just decided to like make them up as if they were there, even though they weren't at all. It would have been funnier if on the episode they had shown a little bit more of what had gone on in the competition, but like they said on Rob Has a Podcast, the stakes weren't as high as they were when we watched it the first time around. So
That's very true. The original time it was played, stakes were very high. Kaser had just won his way back into the house after being evicted, and everything was on the line for him because he knew he and Janelle were going to be targets again. So there, although there was some drama, it wasn't, not every player was aware of the stakes of that competition, and so there wasn't as much desperation. But Charles, we did see after 14 hours, Cameron was our HOH winner. Were you surprised that he was able to outlast his fellow house guests? And just give me your overall takeaway of the competition. Like, did you like some of the twists, like the snakes and the dead flies? Were you aware that Matt pissed in a corner halfway through, and the whole place smelled like pee the whole time? Just give me your breakdown of the events and how Cameron ended up being our ultimate winner.
To answer your first question, was I surprised that he won? No. I think you and I were texting, or I know I was texting another friend at the very least and said one of the military guys is going to win. Truthfully, I expected Red to last a little bit longer than he did, but obviously he was still in the top group. So Cameron going through that in essentially an unflinching fashion, I truthfully wasn't really taken back by that. I was excited though because it was the first time this season that I actually committed a large amount of time to watch the live feeds because I typically kind of get bored with that thing. And, you all know I was kind of texting and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're there. And I would go shower and come back and somebody was gone and I would be pissed that I missed it. Um, Snakes, again, I texted you all. I don't do snakes. I don't look at them. I don't want to hear them.
So
I'm
can I actually ask
actually,
you, because I'm not that
yeah.
affected by snakes, if they were just, because they were contained. So to me, it's like that was a gimmick for the show, but it had no effect on players. But it did seem like Suri was affected by the. Well, no, not Suri. Was it Jared? Someone was affected by it. So my question to you is: would the fact that snakes were even present in the room, even though they couldn't have gotten to you, would that still have
Oh,
messed with your
100%.
ability to
Yeah, yeah,
play?
yeah, 100%. Like, what I was saying, like, I can't look at them on TV. So whenever they would kind of cut to that, I would turn my head. And I forgot what the game was, but many, many years ago when I was a younger man than I am now, There was a video game, and you got to think this is like pixelated, terrible snakes in the middle of a video game. I took the game back to the store because I refused to play it. Like, I don't do steaks at all.
There was a snake in my house tonight that we had to get rid of.
What the fuck?
It was just trying to get away from the hurricane, Sarah. You should let it in.
No,
What the
seriously,
fuck?
I think it came in during the hurricane and took shelter.
How did you get it out? Like, what?
It was we had a set of French doors, and so it was by the French doors. So we took a net and opened the doors, and it didn't want to leave.
I just got chills. Okay, stop.
It really
talking about
didn't.
Okay.
It didn't want to leave. So
No. Moving on. But no, that answers your question about the snakes. Again, overall, I would have to say I was impressed by Nicole, however she pronounces her name. I did
Mhm.
not expect her to be there as long as she was. So as much as I don't really care for her game, kudos to you, because I could not have done that myself. So other than that, it was great.
Yeah, I will also say, if you didn't hear this, America has won a competition before where she had to leave her thumb on a button on her phone for like 30 straight hours. And so I believe that she could have gone longer. And she says she threw it, and I believe her when she says that. But Richard, just to wrap up conversation on the pressure cooker, give me your overall thoughts, but also did you have a favorite prize that was won? When you lost, you got to take a card. We got to see a couple of fun prizes. And then after your thoughts on the pressure cooker, what do you think the best move would have been for Cameron this week? We know he nominated Jag and Blue, but do you think that was the right move as well?
I mean, personally, for starters, I don't think America won. I think she said she came in like 14th out of like 2 million people.
Oh, that's still a win in my book.
I loved her strategy of what I assumed to be trying to demoralize people by saying that she's done this before. I honestly, I just assumed that was tactics of just like, you have no chance, screw you, don't even try. Which I thought was fun. I'm low key getting just like an absolute list right now because I completely forgot the rest of the prizes. I mean, I for starters hate that America didn't get jack crap anything. So that kind of frustrated me that she didn't get anything.
Savage move by Big
coming in
Brother,
second.
but I like it.
Like, oh, it's great for entertainment value, but like morally and empathetically, that is the biggest like dick move that production could have pulled.
Sarah's face.
I just felt bad for the poor girl. She kept standing for like
They were
13 hours
probably
just to not get crap.
Well, she got to go to dinner with Mimi. And she
listen.
got real drunk at that dinner.
She got the gift of saying how iconic it was the whole time.
The gift of gab.
Yes.
I mean, wait, how much money did Blue win?
$1,000.
$1,000.
Which, like,
all I think of is damn Ica from Canada taking the $5,000 over the letters.
Oh, that's iconic.
I would have
but
taken
no,
the fucking
I mean,
money.
I kind of like Nicole's thing, the prize that she won, the dinner for herself and 3 other guests. I also like it. I like it in 2 ways. From an entertainment and game point, like it's just like you're simultaneously like getting in the good graces of 3 people, but also pissing off 10 others. Which I just always like things like that. Like Survivor does this all the time, where you win a reward challenge, and then you pick people to go on reward with you, and so it's now like way more strategy than it really should be for winning a challenge, right?
Right.
You have to like maybe make people's day and simultaneously piss off so many people.
Absolutely. What about Bowie and the pressure cooker? Come on. I have no words for Bowie. That'll probably be the last time I bring her name up on this podcast.
I really hope. I'm waiting for her to go home so that none of us have to do that stupid hot wing challenge.
Is anyone gonna put her up though? Is what I want.
Hey guys,
she's
I'll go on the block.
Hold on.
Your
okay,
accent
Sarah,
is
if I'm being honest,
Charles, you're freaking me out.
She
yeah,
freaks me out when
what
I have to watch her. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Westoff,
It's-
that's what you missed. That's what
Yeah.
you missed. But no, I think Bowie is gonna turn into like the slightly smarter version of an older version of Victoria from 16 that just floats along because she's
I was
absolutely
gonna say
nothing of a
that,
threat.
but like everybody
Like,
hates her because everyone's like,
she's not a threat. Okay,
no, but they think
Where I-
everyone's like she's not actually not playing the game. She's doing something behind the scenes, and it's like no, she's just sitting there doing nothing.
where I think it changes
She's
though is that I think
smiling.
you actually have
She's crying because Izzy was mean to her for the 5th day in a
No.
row.
Oh my god.
Smiling helps bring peace into the Big Brother house.
I mean,
Don't
I
you feel
just
peaceful when I do this?
Wait till you see her on tonight when she votes out Jag. She gives just the exact same face. Like, hello, Julie.
Oh gosh.
no. I just think like the only reason why she won't make it as far as Victoria is because you actually have like solid like multi-person relationships and not just like a final two deal.
Yeah, but
I'm convinced the only reason why Victoria got as far as she did is because the hitmen were a 2-man deal.
Well, and because she
like-
was quiet and just like went along with what they said and just didn't rock the boat, which like Bowie's trying to do, but everyone's like, why is she being so quiet? She must be a bitch. And it's like, no,
I
she's just
loved-
nice and sitting there, but everyone's like, no, she's plotting something.
I loved Kathy Griffin's zing for her that season because it wasn't funny, it was real. Like,
What was the zing?
oh, it was I would zing you, but I only zing people that are actually playing the game.
Okay, that would
It
work on
wasn't
Bowie
funny,
again.
but it was just real. Like, she didn't do jack. Like, it is giving Bowie. It's giving Bowie. Like, Bowie just sits there with Charles. If you want to do the smile, go ahead.
Okay, hold
Like,
on.
she just
Hold
sits-
on.
He
I
just
need to
sits
get in
there
character.
all day like that.
Can you imagine what the hell Bowie would do with an HOH?
I just want HOH, guys.
I think she'd try and immediately give it away. Like, I don't want it.
Sarah, I don't think we need to. Sarah, I don't think we need to worry about that. I don't think we need to worry about that. really don't.
Oh, that's like a
well,
deep fear.
Speaking of the HOH, we did get Cameron crowned HOH, and he does nominate Jag and Blue for the week. So, Sarah, give me your breakdown. I guess real quick, let me just give you the state of the house from my perspective, and then you tell me if I'm right and if this was the right move for the HOH and Cameron. The way I see the house right now is there are 3 7 to 8 person alliances, 6 to 8, with Izzy and Sari and Jared and Felicia at the center of all 3 of them. There's the 7 Deadly Sins. That's the alliance with the 4 of them plus Jag, Blue, Matt. There is the Legend 25,
Legend 25,
which is the 4 of them plus Cameron and Red and Mimi and Bowie. And then there's the For Real, which is the 4 of them, maybe minus Felicia, but plus Corey and America and I believe Matt. So with all that in mind, if you are Cameron this week, did he make the right decision in nominating Jag and Blue? And what do you think of the overall state of the house in general?
I think he made the
Well,
best decision for his own game.
I
Like, I
think
don't think it's wrong for his game. I'm just really mad that no one has taken, like, as much as I would love for this person to win the game, I'm just mad that no one's taken a shot at Sari yet. Like, how have you let
Exactly.
how
It's driving me
how
crazy.
hold on. How has she blindsided one of your biggest allies in Heisum and you let her sit there? Like, come on.
It's driving me crazy.
This is what's crazy about the season is that from a strategic perspective, and Sarah, I'll have you elaborate on this. From a strategic perspective, Sari is playing a terrible game. Like the chess pieces on the board, in my mind, she's just flinging them every which way with no strategy involved. But as I will quote Taryn on From Abba Has a Podcast, it doesn't matter because she's not playing with regular chess pieces. She can convince every piece to change what they want and what their motivations are and who they're aligned with just with her Sari mist. Just it, do you, I guess, let me just change the the question because who cares about Cameron's HOH? He's just I call him Dumb and Dumber. I've heard him referred to as Pinky in the Brain, him and Red. They're living in their own fantasy world, playing a completely different game, and their bubble's about to be burst if one of the two of them doesn't win HOH this week. But for Sarah, give me your perspective, having watched the live feeds and seeing how she goes to work. Uh, it's obvious that Cerie's playing the best in the house, but how do you think she's going about doing that?
I think she's doing well. I definitely think Cameron had a missed opportunity this week. I mean, he went after the players that the house wanted him to go after, but at the end of the day, Sari and her side of the house are gunning for them this week. So, what did it matter at that point what Cameron did? I think Suri's playing a fantastic game, to be honest. I think that we could see her hit the block in the next few weeks, potentially, depending on how many people think she's a threat. But I also think that she's rallied so many allies behind her that someone's going to win the veto and take her off, like Mama Suri.
Yeah. And this is what frustrates me because Jag had all the opportunity in the world this week to throw Suri under the bus. He knew he was going to be nominated. He knew from as soon as Cameron won that HOH, I'm going up on the block. He could have taken the information and been like, "Hey Cameron, I'm in a secret alliance with Suri and they are targeting you and Red." And if he says that and convinces Cameron, now we have a competitive house. But it just seems like everybody thinks that Suri is their number one. And so it's both frustrating and fascinating at the same time to watch. Um, Charles, not to completely.
Why are you laughing? Sorry, I made a face. Anyway.
Well, not to switch gears off of the strategy, but I know how much
there is none. But yes,
it wasn't the most strategic week, but we did have love in the air this week. So please break down for me which of the two showmances you're rooting for, if either, and what you think of the two showmances. Is there one that you like more than the other?
AmeriCorey.
Really? You need Dalton on for you asked me the fucking showmance question,
Well,
knowing
Dalton's
I don't
not
give
here,
a shit.
so
I know. I get this question and I can't chime in on fucking Sari being there. Like that hurts.
Go with your
no. I will answer the showmance question. I think they're both fucking stupid, even though I love America. Her and Corey together is kind of cute, but their whole relationship is just like, you're boring and this is awkward and it makes me not want to watch. I really fucking hate Jared and I really fucking hate Blue. I just want them both gone. Like, I get angry seeing them together. I tried to turn on the live feeds for like 5 minutes the other day and instantly it was just like, I don't even care if I'm on a different camera. They gross me out. They're stupid. I can't do it. That's my 2 cents on that.
Charles, you don't even know the beginning of it.
I
honestly.
don't want to. Oh my god.
I think I like, along with the rest of BB Twitter, just think that AmeriCorey is just very wholesome. Like, compared, okay, hold on.
Oh, for
when
sure.
you put a side by side of America and Corey to Jared and Blue, there is a clearly better showmance on this season.
I disagree. I completely disagree.
You don't think it's wholesome. You don't think it's cute at all.
I cannot stand Corey and America together. Cannot stand.
Wait, why?
For some reason, I do not like either of them, and I can't get past it. I know
this is
that
crazy.
A
They're
lot
my
of
two favorite players.
See, I love America. She's on my team, but Corey, I didn't like from day one, and I still don't. So
I like
I'm
nothing.
the opposite. I like
nothing.
Corey, not America.
I see.
I don't like
if I were in the
kind
house,
of. I like
see.
them both,
I would think I would play a Corey style game. Like, he's very cerebral and like can see the moves that need to be made. He's just kind of struggling socially a little bit, so I can relate some. But yeah,
I can't.
I like how you were the only one that laughed at your joke, and we were just like, nope.
Yeah, see the socially awkward portions. I prove it in real time.
So basically, this is Westoff's application. Hold on.
Right.
This is Westoff's application to Big Brother as his version of The Bachelor. So,
Well, and
Ooh.
I absolutely believe the idea that Corey overprepared for this game and thought of every scenario, but never once considered I might get in a showmance. Like he's like, there's no way I'll be in a showmance, and now he is. He's like, crap, what do I do?
see, here's the thing: his brother got hit on Survivor.
And she won.
Are we
right?
like, huh?
Didn't she win?
Yeah, she won too.
So we're saying America's gonna win.
No, no, I'm not saying
But-
that. I'm saying
Let's
that the
go.
Wittenberger boys clearly
By the transitive property of mathematics, then America wins.
Oh, congrats on landing a joke. You know, socially awkward. Said 5 seconds ago, then lands a joke. No, I'm just saying. I feel like if I was Corey, I would have said like, "There's a world where someone might think I'm cute," just based off the fact that my own brother, my own flesh and blood, did it. I don't know, 2 years ago or a year ago. Like, I just, you know, I don't get people who go in and are like, I'm not gonna get in a show, because those are usually the people that do get in one. The people that are so adamantly against one.
That's
Like,
true.
unless you're married, you really don't have anything to get. Well, there was Christine from 16, so not even if you're married. You know,
Bring me back. Forgot about that.
Mhm.
Or either
Yikes.
being in a relationship for 7 years like Jared. Apparently that's no obstacle to fornicating on the public upstairs loft while your mother's downstairs cooking dinner. But yeah, that's the non-wholesome one.
Can someone set the scene though for that whole situation in its entirety? Because the conversation leading up to
Oh
Under
yeah,
the
I actually
Sheets.
wasn't even going to hit on that. Sarah, go ahead and reveal it for us. But yeah, before they seal the deal, Jared makes what I think is a huge blunder.
Go ahead. Continue. Mhm.
Sarah, if you can.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sometimes I regret the fact that we do these over Zoom calls and we can see each other. Like, sorry,
Sarah's
Sarah.
speechless.
So basically, Jared and Blue were having their conversation about the secret that Jared's been hiding in the house, and Jared insinuated, that he had a family member in the house, and Blue guessed Miss Felicia, and he's like, yeah, definitely. My mom, we've been through all that. My mom's in the house. Can you believe it? My mom's in the house.
So
Let's do it.
Right, actually. Sorry, thank you for finishing your thought. How does talking about your mom being in the house lead to the next step being, oh, let's do it while we know she's here now? That's
I'm not
insane in
sure
itself.
how those two things correlate. It makes me want to gag.
Or
It
just
makes
like
me want
go
to
to the
gag
have
because
not
it feels
room.
like it's very like Oedipal complex type. Like, I
It's
really
so
just
high
don't
school.
like.
It's so high school.
And that's
No, it's
Blue.
it's
Let's go, girls. We're gonna
Or-
go get it in today.
Or even
'cause
worse,
we're gonna
after
get it.
is
Oh,
Jared
God.
sneaking back upstairs with a handful of wet paper towels to wipe off the
forgot about that.
the couch. Like
The
as the
Clorox.
camera is
that.
panning into him, it's
The
like
Clorox.
and then the
Oh,
next night
God.
when they all want to play a funny prank on Corey and America and throw a condom in, they're like, ooh, we'll throw a condom in there. Oops,
They're
the
missing. They're all
condoms
gone.
are
Oh.
missing. Who could
I
possibly have
don't
used
know where the
condoms in here?
condoms are.
As the cameras all go straight to Jared and Blue. Yeah, I do like that the producers threw them under the bus because Suri is going to beat his ass as soon as he hears all of this information. It's just a matter of time. It's not going to stay secret for much longer. That boy can't keep a secret for his life.
And
Lord
he's
help him.
terrible at the game. So it just again, there's just so many. Whose team is he on, by the way? Who picked him? You, Daniel?
No.
Richard.
Oh,
Richard.
Richard. Really? I'm sorry, but he's fucking
Richard, who's on your team that you were worried
garbage.
about after you heard about the power or the
Jag.
the veto? Oh, Jag.
Jag.
Okay.
I was shitting bricks because I just thought to myself, I knew that it was either Cameron or Red, and I was just like, there's no shot he's getting taken down. Like there's no shot. Like he's the target, and unless some divine being intervenes, he's going home. And then
he was
boom,
20 seconds away from
intervenes.
beating Red in the veto. But as we saw, last big moment of the week, Red did win the veto. So now we've got a power couple upstairs of Cameron and Red.
That's the next showmance.
Well, the way that Red, it's been a whole thing the last 2 days. Apparently, Red hates America, and everyone's suspicious.
Oh, there are people on my team. What?
Yeah, well, it's because I think he was told, don't talk to the pretty girls in the house from his significant other. And so now he's just walking around being like, that bitch America, like she's the worst, and she knows about it now. And so there's about to be a fight for sure.
Can I please ask, can we revert back to 4 weeks ago before this season started? How heavily do we, as along with BB Twitter, still believe in the whole like, oh, they only cast like an America red and blue to have some stupid Team America twist or some crap like that, and the whole like, oh, like America
put that together. I didn't even think about red and blue also.
And then there was like,
are you kidding? We
No,
talked about that.
I wasn't on a podcast.
There was
I
a
was
whole
on.
theory. No, there was a whole theory alone that America red and blue were cast for their names so that they could be like the second coming of like a mix between like
and Jared
and
Blue
America and then America's player from like BB12 or whatever.
No, I figured it out. Jared and Blue will name their unborn child White, and that will be the winner of BB25.
The condom broke. Charles's face.
Okay, though,
I'm gonna let Charles recover for a minute.
Can we just take a second to talk?
Can I just wanted to finish the thought. Do we still believe that America is like a fake?
No, like that's too long now. She's no psyop.
No, but can we talk about all the different sides of Cameron and all the different personalities? Because I have seen many different people on this season.
Whose team is Cameron on?
In Cameron's body.
Not mine.
Not Cameron. He's on Pooch's.
Probably Pooch's.
Oh, okay.
He is the cockiest person, and everything he's one of those narcissists that like someone tells him a fact, and then the next time he says it as if it came from his brain. So if you're like, hey, Cameron, it's raining outside today, he'll be like, yeah, did you know it's raining outside? And it's like that personality, especially in power, is fascinating to like.
Did you forget 2 weeks ago or last week when you had,
the Heisem complex?
Yes.
Here, let me talk to you. Yeah.
You want to talk about egos? I'm sorry. Like Cameron's bad, but it does not reach the level that Heisem got last week.
No, but Heisem is a temporary psychosis. Cameron's is a permanent state of life.
This is completely different. This is absolutely 100% completely different. Although Heisem was a dictator, he was a consistent dictator at that.
He was honest, loyal.
Cameron isn't consistent worth anything. I swear, 1 week I see him in dad gear. The next week I see him in camping gear. The next week I see him in Southern Tide, like he just walked out of a fraternity. And the next week I see him in matching outfits with Red. I
and what's wrong with that?
Tell you, I'm not sure who this person is.
Wow, I thought I was the judgy one on this panel, but I'm not judging what someone's wearing, except for Blue.
It's not that. It's not that. It's that the personality goes along with it. It goes along with the style, the personality.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Can I just briefly say on that note that Blue's nom speech tonight. Listen.
Oh wait, what did she do?
I have to hear. She shouted out her fans, her family, said like kitty purr like twice.
And then said the only reason I'm leaving this house is with $750,000, so keep me, please. It's like
She literally said that she basically said, my a wise one once told me, don't come home unless you're bringing home $750,000. And that person was my mom. And then at the end, she was like, please don't make me go home to my newly 59-year-old mother with an empty pocket. And I was just like, between that and the kitty purr, I was like, you now deserve to go home.
I think I'd switch back to the Pagula match at that point.
It was just like the thing is,
Not
it's
the
nothing
kitty
against
purr.
it's nothing against like her job or whoever, or like who she is. It's just like, girl, that was cringe. Like just straight up, it was cringe. She shouted out her followers and was like, went full influencer, and I just wanted to barf because I was like, either you came here to play the game or
She's a
you came
recruit.
here to
So
game.
she came to get
gain
followers. She's a recruit.
Yes.
So
There's no way. Like that confirmed it to me. Like there's no way she's. I just can't legitimize it anymore.
well, Charles, can you guess the vote count tonight?
I mean, maybe I'm gonna go with unanimous again.
Yes, we had our fourth unanimous vote of the season.
And it doesn't even matter because that fucking power got played.
Yeah.
Can I genuinely say, like, okay, you know what? I agree that I'm not the biggest fan of the unanimous vote, but this week I kind of dig it because Jag is now thinking to himself, now how the hell did all 10 of these people vote me out?
I'll tell you on the
I
live
like
feeds last night.
Fair point.
Like,
fair point.
Like, if you're gonna have a unanimous vote, at least the guy stayed, so he can now go. Now, why the hell did all of them vote for me?
Yeah, I'm in.
And also, on the other hand, like I said, I think that Matt and Sari and all them voted for Jag, so that Cameron and Red can live in their little fantasy world that Jag played on himself. Therefore, causing the chaos of Jag now being who voted for me and like why everyone vote for me. But also Matt and Sari get to keep their anonymity.
Yeah,
which is why I didn't hate Matt's move tonight, because it was unanimous, and so they all think it was Jag. So none of them know that he won. Sari's pretty clean because they don't know that she had anything to do with it. It just was a win-win for them. He gets to keep his biggest ally. Jag is now in chaos.
This will make this week super juicy. Is I was watching the feeds till like 3 a.m. last night, and America's whole goal for like the 2.5 hour span I had it on, she was trying to convince Jag, you don't have Sari and Felicia and Izzy. They are voting against you. And Jag kept being like, America, you're wrong. I know it happened to Riley, but that's just because we didn't count the votes. Like, I know I have them. And then he ended up getting all of them in a room and forcing them all to out loud be like, yes, we will vote for you. Even though they all were like, as soon as he left the room, we're like, yeah, we're not doing that. So he like, for hours, America was like, you are going home tomorrow. Please believe me. And he didn't. So now I'm fascinated to see. He just got voted out 10-0. So what is he going to do with that information?
You could see it on his face when Julie said by a vote of 10-0. I watched him. He just went crushed. Like he was done. Like he knew it was him. The minute she said 10-0, he like collapsed. He's sank like his body language, done. Like he knew. He literally looked over at Blue and it was like that like moment of like acceptance. And then like he actually cried. I think he actually shed tears when Matt played, when he realized he was safe.
He was sitting there like praying and like, please. I
really hope.
A miracle.
I was like, I really hope that Cameron and Red are stupid enough to believe that Jag played on himself and just put on the most Oscar-worthy performance ever. With that said,
because what a slap in the face would it be for Cam to find out that Matt did that?
If Cameron thinks Felicia is related to an Oscar winner,
Cameron and Red are sure that Matt is on their team. People have also told them, look, Matt is not on your team. And they're like, you're wrong. We have Matt. So if they find out that Matt used the power,
that will
have a dramatic week.
And this is kind of on the same subject, but a little bit off. But it's a note that I've actually had the past couple of weeks, but I feel like this is a good point to bring it up. Daniel, you may be able to relate to this a little bit more, but I don't know if you remember in the Canadian season that we watched, like week after week we talked about how everybody just exposed everything. It was like, "Ooh, I'm in an alliance, so now I'm going to go tell Richard that I'm in an alliance with Sarah and Daniel. Oh, cool. I'm now going to go tell Sarah that I'm in an alliance with Richard." And like, I feel as if this season, and I don't know, maybe I'm subconsciously looking for it. I feel like this season that has just been everybody is just, oh, well, I'm working with them and I know that you're working with them. So let's just talk about it out in the open. And I'm like, well, who the fuck is going to trust who? Like, is this just me or do you all feel like that's gone
It's
on too?
no, that's the exact way it is. And they all think that, oh, but I'm in the real alliance and they're all being
Yep.
played.
Mhm.
I was gonna say that was gonna be my point. It feels very Paul from Big Brother 19, where everybody knows that Paul had an alliance with everybody else. And then you had like Raven and Jury being like, no, but I was the real alliance. It was one of my favorite moments where she called herself a puppet master and said that she was the real alliance. And then Cody and Elena and Mark looked over at her and went, if you were the real alliance, why are you
Why are you
sitting
sitting here?
with us in the jury house?
Right.
Like, why aren't you in the house? Like, if you were, my favorite quote was Mark. Like, all you did was play house in the Big Brother house. Like, that was my favorite. But it feels very reminiscent of that, where like everybody knows that Sari is with everybody else, but they're all like, no, but I'm the real one.
But her
I'm the one
mist
that
is
she
more
trusts.
powerful than
Like-
Paul's, so we'll see how it affects her in game. But
Sari is Paul with kindness.
yeah, I kind of like that.
That's the truth. Sari is Paul with kindness, and that jury management is how she's gonna win.
Well, that's all I had for the week. So let's go to each of you to wrap it up. And if you have any final points, Charles, starting with you, final thoughts on week 4 of Big Brother, a week that may mean nothing or may mean everything.
I that was the biggest point that I kind of wanted to bring up, just the amount of complete distrust that everybody has because they are speaking so freely and just immediately going back to Sari. I to chime in on what Daniel wouldn't have let me to speak on earlier. It's one of those things. I was talking with all of my friends outside of you three. Even if you don't know that Suri and Jared are related, even if you did not watch Survivor, like from someone being in the house, and I know obviously they are thinking about all kinds of things, there is nothing, absolutely nothing in me that's going to let her still be there and not be a target. And I think that, kind of tying back in, I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but for me, like the season that Derek won of Big Brother, I always ask myself if he had been in a house with people who were actually playing the game against him, he probably wouldn't have won. And that's how I look at Sari right now. It's like they're just letting her be there. And as much as I wouldn't necessarily think she deserved to win, it's like she deserves to win because nobody's doing anything about it. And that's kind of where I'm hoping that as we look into the next week or two, that somebody just fucking opens their eyes and says, we can't have somebody here that's a master at playing fucking reality show TV. Like, so I don't know. Go ahead, Richard.
I wanted to run off of that because I get a lot of crap when I say my favorite Big Brother winner and my favorite Survivor winner because they're both winners of very dumb seasons. Like the similarities that they had the same, like, okay, for Big Brother, it's Derek from 16, and for Survivor, it's Kim from One World. Survivor fans know exactly what I'm talking about. They're both their games were kind of like themed by dominance and having people, and this is what I was gonna get to with Sari. Sari's playing a very Survivor game where you have people reporting back to you because Survivor, you don't have as much time in between evictions or eliminations as you do in Big Brother. So in Survivor, everything is so much more like hyper timed. So you rely on other people doing the dirty work for you and bring information to you. And I think you can see that through her game. With Kim and Derek, I get a lot of crap for them because they both played on seasons where they had like one or two main people that could fight against them for the win. And beyond that, very dumb people. Very dumb people. I would say that Derek had, I would say 3. I'd say maybe like Donnie, Frankie, and Cody. But Cody was a puppy dog to him. And Kim had like 2. Freaking Tarzan and Leaf, I'd say, were the only ones. Maybe, I don't even think you could extend it any further. But just, I think it's just a game that Suri's playing, and I agree that if she had a smarter season, but come on, she's doing, what she can with what she has. And I guess at the end of the day, you also have to count in the fact that smart people or not on your season, you have to be good at the game to be able to take advantage of it and know how to play it. Because she's playing them like a fiddle right now, all of them.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, Charles, but I do think that she's playing an active role in making it that way. Like,
Oh, she's playing
yeah,
for
She's
sure.
she's had a hand
she's
in every single
she's
event.
Yeah.
misting people into comfort, like being there, making her. I'll say this. Sometimes I do get frustrated thinking this could be a runaway season. It could be a bit of a steamroll. But then I also have to think and contemplate on the fact that even if it is a steamroll season, have we ever seen a steamroll come from 2 ladies who are in their 60s and like the unathletic, like oddball, like lesbian of the group? Like, they're never the power source. It's always the big muscular guys and the hot chicks with them, and then maybe one smart person kind of directing them. This is actually fascinating to me. And even if it played out in the most steamrolled way, it would still be a fascinating, interesting season to watch play out because the power source is so different than any other season we've seen. I'm just like, I'm excited to see a different version of Big Brother than we've seen before. So
Sorry, I just fell asleep because there's nobody playing against them, but it's fine.
Can I ask?
No,
Do we
I
think?
do agree though. Not to be completely on the opposite end. Like I get it and I agree with, but like if you're playing against people that aren't playing, then it's like dumb. It's like for me, it's like the equivalent of like a 4-0 playing a 2-5. Like you're playing the same game right now, but you're nowhere near the same level, so it's not fun to watch because you're not getting resistance. It's like,
well, and the only
okay, cool.
resistance that could come to her right now is like the Corey aspect, and she's kneecapping him every opportunity she gets. Like she keeps stopping any momentum from happening. So again, I give her credit, but I do see where you're coming from because I see the same thing. I'm worried about it being a steamroll, but she's actively stopping every small bit of momentum. She's cutting it off at the source. Richard,
Can I ask though? Do we think
It was
that
so
the
aggressive.
the 3 people closest to Suri, which I would say are probably like Felicia, Jared, and Izzy, prior to Matt doing what he
in
did this
reverse
week.
order.
Yes, I'm aware. Do we think they would have played better or worse if Suri was not there? Because I think Suri being there
That's
is
a deep question.
like I think Izzy would do worse. Because there have been multiple times where Suri has grounded her from absolutely exploding into space. I think Jared would do better because half the time he's thinking about his mom and not himself. And I think Felicia would do the same. I think
she'd be
like
less powerful.
Yeah.
She'd be the
Felicia.
normal old
Mhm.
player without
Yeah.
much
I
power.
just think that maybe Suri has like given Felicia more like mental stability and like having someone that she could trust in with decision making. Because I don't think she would have anyone else that like people that like would gravitate to her the way that people have to the both of them as a collective, as a duo. But I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah, final thoughts of the night. What do you think of week 4?
I think that Suri likes Matt more than Jared right now. Deservedly so. And I am happy about that. I am happy about seeing the final 2 people in my roster.
Sarah, be
Um,
honest. How many times did you vote for Matt?
He received all of my votes. Are you guys joking? I thought about throwing Izzy like a couple because I was like, oh, she's on my roster. I should, But then when it came down to it, I was like, no, Matt's got to get it. He's got to get them all.
Wait, I'm curious. Where did you guys throw your votes?
I went 80-20 Corey America.
Oh my gosh.
I was 50-50 Red in America.
Well,
I did more spreading than you guys. I spread my votes more than you guys did.
I am so.
I'm surprised. I spread my votes more than you guys did. I gave I think it was Sari, Felicia, Corey, and one other person. I just spread them, and then I gave an extra one.
Who's the one other person?
Is it Jag?
It's Jared.
I think it might have been Jag. Sari, Felicia, Corey. It wasn't Jared. I don't give two craps about Jared right now. The only thing I care about is that he doesn't go home, so I can actually stay in this.
No, you care because you're already misted by Sari, and you're not even in the fucking house. That you want her son to do well. That's what's going on with you there.
Good night, Charles.
Richard.
Listen, my drink is done. I've got nothing more to just delude your comments by. So,
All right, well, real quick before we wrap, around the horn, who do we think would make the most interesting HOH of the coming week? Charles, I'll start with you. No. Actually, you're right. Bowie would be fascinating.
That was the best thing you've done all night. For
those who are not watching, you just need to watch. You don't need to hear my answer. You need to see it live.
Sarah, who is your HOH pick?
Oh, I mean, of course, you guys know I'd like to win.
You want Matt.
But as who I think an interesting HOH would be.
Do it, Sarah. Make the face.
I knew it would be.
We all agree, but can we have some different answers here, guys? If we all say the friggin' Australian, then what are we gonna?
Although I will say that a Jared HOH would prove to be a very interesting week because you would have him and Mama Sari just arguing back and forth the entire time.
No, you'd have Pound Town every night in the HOH room and clean up the next morning.
No.
I'm talking about the cleanup.
Stop.
I take it all back. I take
the only thing I can think of is the
Hold on.
I take it back.
I was gonna say Sari because everybody thinks they're in an alliance with her. So she'd have to actually do something. Which here's the thing: we all know who her target would be. She's just gonna put up Cameron and Red. If one of them wins veto, who cares? The other one is already sitting on the block. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
I hope she wins.
I think what happens is she wins. She puts up Cameron and Red, or whatever happens. They are going to blow up her game. They are going to try to expose as much as they can. They're going to try to expose as much as they can.
Did you all see the start of HOH, by the way? Not to cut you off.
No.
Okay.
We have no idea.
Sarah, the feed's up yet?
No. Should be in 45 minutes, so.
Yeah. My pick would be America. I think she'd take a shot.
America.
She wouldn't hit. She wouldn't hit Sari, but she'd take a shot at the other side.
I want to know what the draw for America is.
What do you mean the draw?
Lord knows. Okay, here's the thing. Lord knows if any of the young people win.
Like, obviously, she's very smart. She's good at competitions. Draw? Is that why? Because
she's a super fan.
I can't.
What do you mean? What do you mean draw?
She means why do I like America? And I'm saying
I like America
because she hasn't given me a reason.
Because
to not
we're
like
patriotic. Her. That's why we like America.
Listen,
because she chose the socially awkward guy, and that could be me.
Oh boy! Okay,
Daniel's writing his own
Westhoff's on cloud
story.
9. No, genuinely, I just think it's like, as a fan, as a psychologist, I look at it from just like I will like you until you give me a reason not to. And she just hasn't given me a reason not to like her yet. I don't like Cameron. I don't like Heisem. Those are obvious. Give me a reason to not like you. I'm slowly getting there with Jared and Blue. I'm slowly getting there with Red and his freaking girlfriend who's younger than me. Like, you
So you're
know,
jealous.
Wait.
Okay, cool.
Ticket. Whoa.
Jealous.
I need to a couple backstabs.
again, Charles, good night.
I'm gonna be doing some research tonight.
Just because I always give people the benefit of the doubt, and like, since America has not given me a reason to not like her,
Yeah, and
why
to me,
not?
like Mimi and America are similar spots in the game.
Hell
But-
no.
I like Mimi more.
Hell
No,
no.
I like
Hell
America
no.
more. Mimi's a
No.
little
West off.
judgmental, a little cut off.
West off.
No.
Hell
I meant
no.
not. I meant like they play at a similar level. Mimi's in a much better spot. She's not a target, but they both play at similar levels. Like they have similar strategy of just. They're not.
Go Mimi.
Yeah, but
But-
Mimi hasn't banged no one yet. So like, or
Neither
actually
has
in
America.
America,
Neither has America.
Well, in AmeriCorey's realm, they haven't cuddled yet. But you know, like,
Yeah, that's as far
Corey's
as that's
about to
going.
Come
fucking
on.
get it in.
No, dude. She got real drunk after that dinner and was doing her best to become Jared and Blue, and he would not allow it to happen.
Oh.
He didn't want to do anything on camera. So
I've never
I wouldn't.
seen.
No.
I've never seen that reaction out of Charles. That was.
I say he's like,
I'm
my mom
so
could be
used
watching,
to,
and Jared's like, my mom is watching.
I think the thing is, I think once they get out of the house, honestly, I think they're both gonna make it to jury, and then he's gonna get it. All right.
Yeah, and then it'll be done after that because she's 27 and he's 21, and
True.
they're in different worlds. So,
Oh, that's just not gonna work.
but all right,
Age gap is still closer than Red. All right.
this is the
Next.
most showmancy episode we've had of the season. I hope it ends here.
And
send
the
Melvin
most
home.
second most fun after the one that Daniel wasn't on, but it's fine.
Right.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's all I really wanted to hit tonight. I'm excited to get to these live feeds tonight. Hopefully we get an HOH winner tonight. And yeah, we're going to do all of this over again because it's a rewind week. So we'll be back here next week to recap all of the action from week 5 of Big Brother. And we're hopefully going to start bringing you more episodes other than these once a week recaps now that I am back in my producer chair and can get these podcasts edited and released. So we will be back multiple times this week to talk about BB25 and all of the action in the house. But until next time, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you all soon.